Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a very fancy episode of Face Turn with Candace Cordelia. We are in this massive room here in Las Vegas at the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Resort. And if you haven't recognized the lovely champion sitting to my left, the one and only Jade Cargill, our esteemed TBS champion. First and foremost, thank you so much, Jade, for being a part of my show. It's an honor to meet you.
No problem.
In
Thanks
awe.
for having me.
Of course. And we have so much to get into. We are here a day before Double or Nothing for All Elite Wrestling. For me, it's exciting, but I could imagine for you, it's like even more so a magnanimous accomplishment that you are about to go to with this match with Anna Jay. So let's get first into it. I'm tearing up a little bit. Maybe it's because I'm in the presence of greatness, but
It's the star power. That's what I say.
it's the star power. It's not the allergies. It really is the star power. But Jade, so let's get right into what we're about to witness tomorrow. Sunday, Double or Nothing. Anna Jay, you both have faced each other before in the tournament, a title defense for the championship title that you're holding right now. So this is the second time around for Anna to potentially usurp you and take this away from you. I mean, how do you feel going into this match with Anna?
Yeah, so it wasn't for the tournament, actually. It was just after I won the belt. It was probably one of my best matches that I had. It was my first main event for Rampage. Going into this match, I'm very confident. Anna, I'm pretty sure, has new tools. I mean, she should have new tools, obviously. I beat that ass pretty easily. So I will hope she has new tools in her toolbox, and I hope she comes ready for a good match. I'm not worried about anything. I'm pretty sure I'm still going to be undefeated after this. I mean, come on, why would I lose my belt? But, we're just going to have to see tomorrow. I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. And you're about 31-0, is it? I've lost count because at this point...
I have two. I'm just kicking ass. I don't know.
You really are.
I really am.
You're just running through the roster roughshod, and, it's amazing because we have talked before. We talked less than a year ago, 2021. It wasn't in person, but I did interview you for Pro Wrestling Illustrated. And at that time, you were just getting started with AEW. And I remember one of the things that you mentioned, which I wrote about in that October 2021 issue, was that you're just ready to do what is asked of you. You're ready to make a statement. And all you need to do is to just make win after win after win in order to get to the top. And in less than a year, you have done it.
Yes.
So from the time that we talked at that moment, you mentioned looking up to China. She's one of your idols, and potentially following in her footsteps in some way of being one of the greatest at AEW. Now here you are, one of the greatest. What does that feel like? Because this has all been done in less than a year's time. You know what?
It was an opportunity. I took it. I literally was thrown in the ocean with no type of life vest at all. All I could think of is just to continue to perform and kick ass. I'm here to be great. I'm not here to just float around and just be normal. I would have never entered this sport if I didn't want to be great. I'm excited. It's my first year. I've accomplished a lot. And what people have to realize is I'm only going to get better. A lot of people, it takes about 5 years, 6 years to be in this position. I'm doing this now coming into my second year. I'm learning on the fly. I'm learning myself. I'm growing into my character. I'm learning the business. I'm learning how to just take everything in and be in that moment. I'm used to being in front of thousands of people anyway, being that I played collegiate basketball. So I feel at home. I'm excited. Like, it's an adventure, and it's like the beginning of my adventure, and I'm more excited that fans can see me grow and they can see the progress. Like, they've been here. Literally, my first match was on TV, so they've seen my first match, and you're gonna see me progress and progress and progress and progress. And it was an interview I seen of Brian that said it took him about 6-7 years to even feel comfortable, and I'm in my first year and I'm getting more comfortable than ever. It's great to work for an owner who is hungry. Because it keeps you hungry and it keeps you wanting more and to be better and what else is out there to help this company out. And that's what I'm here for.
And speaking of that owner being Tony Khan, he recently stated in an interview as well, prior to all of this obviously that's taking place, that he compared you to Goldberg, which was quite a statement, you know? What did you think about that? Was that something that you expected for Tony Khan, your employer, to say right out of the gate with this short career that you have?
No, not at all. Who gets all this in the beginning of their career? Nobody does. So just the fact that he believed in me, he saw my vision, and he knew my purpose meant the world to me. I wasn't just a number. I wasn't just this girl over here, like he knew my purpose, he knew my name, he knew I had a daughter, he knew I was hungry, and I'm in this for the long haul. So just for him to trust me in this position, it speaks volumes.
100%. And you know, it's so funny because, and you mentioned this also in the Players Tribune article, I tweeted about it because I personally was really struck by it. You know, I come from one parent who is not from this country, who's also from the Caribbean. Yes. And there's from Trinidad and Tobago. So I was like, Jamaica, Trinidad, you know, we have some similarities, Jade, you know, so I feel you. And also as a young African-American woman and a young West Indian woman, and also speaking from experience, you feel as though you have to do more. You know, you have to do well and above 100%. Yes. It's what our parents taught us to do. Yes. So to me, it comes as no surprise that you are doing what you're doing in wrestling because there's that drive and that ambition within you. You know, in this article, you talked about your family, you talked about your grandmother. It was really touching. I mean, what does your family think right now as they're seeing you accomplish all of these things? And what do they think of you in terms of what you could do, what you can progress, and how far you can go in wrestling?
They are extremely proud of me. I think them seeing me in a whole different element and sticking to something like wrestling, it's more shocking. They can't believe it because this is so outside of my family's bubble. It's so outside of it. They're more into football and soccer. So for me to do wrestling, I mean, everybody watched wrestling growing up. It's a total shock. So for them to see me turn this person on and off, it's like, who is this? Like, and especially being an Islander, it's like, what?
Yes.
You know, and it's just getting my family warm to it. It's a good thing, however, because when things get overwhelming and social media can just drown you, I have family that are not connected to the wrestling world. So I can literally just go hang out with my friends and family and just, it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't, I can legit just close the app and be in a whole nother world. So it's a sweet sour thing because, you know, they don't understand wrestling as much and have the knowledge other than my brother, Sean. Nobody else has the knowledge of wrestling. But it's a good thing because then I can get back to the real world and just drown everything out and just stay level-headed. And that's what I appreciate from my family and my friends.
I can 100% relate to that. 100%. You know, you mentioned family and friends. One thing, and I don't think anyone has asked you this, so I'll be the first. You know, I'll get the exclusive. You know, you're part of a sorority. You're part of AKA. I have several friends who are also AKA sisters. And ski. Well, I don't know if I could say that.
You can't say that. But
I'm like, is it like improper if I say it? But exactly. What do your line sisters think about this? Is this something that you talk to them about?
I do. You know what? They support me 120%. I love it because it's not that many from the D9 that's in wrestling. And so what I had wanted to do for my entrance this pay-per-view was bring out the D9. However, it didn't work out that way, but I would like to integrate both of them. I wanted to introduce the D9 to wrestling fans. I know they're not knowledgeable about it. That's fine. That's cool. But I just wanted to, I want to start having the minority to just join into wrestling and make it more global and more popular and more hip again, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
So, no, not that many people even know what AKA is. So I appreciate that. When I speak to my coworkers, they're like, "What is that? A club? Like, what is that? What is that?" And
I almost joined. I almost thought about it, but I didn't. No knock against.
Well, you're wearing red, so you might have been a Delta. I don't know.
We're speaking a different language.
Yeah, I see it. Right, not so much pink and green. I got pink. Well, no pink on me, but I got green.
It suits you though. The pink and green absolutely suits you, Jade. And you know, we're speaking about sorority life, and it's funny because the integration between real life and wrestling life, it is different. It's like being an entertainer, which you are. It's like being an actor, which you also are. You have to kind of think about one life and then go to the next. How does that work for you in terms of maintaining both lifestyles, being able to juggle everything and still catch a breath for yourself and just stay grounded and balanced?
I'm still learning. I'm literally still learning. Some days I'm frustrated, some days I'm cool and calm, but Jade Cargill is just an extension of Jade Cargill. So it's myself, it's just a bigger version. I know when I go home, I just take this armor off. I'm a totally different person. I'm laid back, like I'm a fun mom, I'm a great spouse. Like, it's a totally different world. So it's not that hard, but I am figuring out the wrestling world still. Like, it's all a learning process. Everything's a trial and error.
And you're figuring it out with aplomb. I mean, I was waiting to ask this one question of all the questions to ask you. Vanessa Hudgens, right? So we're talking about someone, High School Musical, you know, Hollywood actress. She put you in her story on Instagram and called you an icon. That's something that not many wrestlers can say have gotten the attention of someone from Hollywood, especially this early in your career. I mean, did you get a chance to talk to Vanessa and shout her out and say, hey, thank you? I mean, was there some sort of
we actually talk a lot. We talk a lot.
Really?
Yeah, she's actually, you guys are going to have to see. It's going to be a surprise. But she's super nice, super down to earth. I mean, I feel like I have a lot of people who like me. It's just they don't show it as much as she did. And I appreciate the support because she is a sweet person.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
This sounds like something well beyond wrestling, or maybe perhaps in wrestling.
Or the crossover, maybe.
I was just shocked. I didn't even realize Vanessa Hudgens was a wrestling fan, and that's what's so great about wrestling. You know, you never know who's a fan that's outside of the world.
That's what I'm figuring out. That's why I'm saying I have a lot of friends who are in Hollywood that are wrestling fans, and I want to be the person to like pull it out, like you know, pull it out like it used to be in the early 2000s. I feel like wrestling is starting to be like a lost art a little bit, like the shine is starting to dull. Maybe that's just me. However, I wanted to be mainstream. We work damn hard. We work so hard. Like I feel like we do 5 things at once. Like it shouldn't be hard for us to go into movies. It shouldn't be that hard for us to do this and do that. We're literally doing everything on the fly. Things are last minute at times, and we're able to adjust. We know how to schedule and have priorities, you know? So there's nothing. I feel like I played college basketball. When I did that, I felt as though there was nothing I cannot do. And now that I'm wrestling on the fly, we have things last minute at times. Anything can possibly happen, and you're live. I literally feel like I can do anything I put my mind to.
And you certainly are. And one thing, which I am so happy you did this. We talked, I remember giving this idea to you about factions. And you were like, oh, I like that. I'm thinking about it. Here you are as a part of, or rather the leader of the baddies.
Yes.
So how did this come about? Because I was so stoked to see this. I was like, this is something that we need in AEW. And it is, everyone loves the baddies. You know, how did this start?
So it was one day I had a match, and I just looked out and I was like, Jesus, there's a lot of guys out here. Like, where are the women? You know, and again, I keep on bringing up the early 2000s because that's when I watched the Attitude Era. And it was a sea of women. It was a bunch of women. So I'm like, where are the women? We need that support. We need that support. Like, I want that support of women. You know, like, we need to support each other regardless of what company we're in, regardless of what we're doing. We need to see you. You know, so I looked out, didn't see any women, and I'm like, where are the women? We need women in the crowd. We need women. We're appealing. We're gorgeous. You know, where are we? So that's what made me say, hey, like, I need a baddie section full of women. It's not just about your looks. It's how you carry yourself. It's your aura. It's how you perceive yourself, not how other people perceive you. Because if I let what other people think of me staying how I feel about myself, then who am I to sit here and tell you to live a certain lifestyle, to be a certain way? Who am I? You know? So I know myself. I have that aura, and I know there are women out there who have that same presence. You know, this comes in different shapes and sizes and looks. And if you know yourself, who is somebody else to tell you about yourself? And I just wanted those type of women in the crowd. And I'm like, hey, you got the best looking wrestlers looking at you. You have great seats. Like, you're getting prime time TV, you know, and you're a baddie. You know who you are. And that means everything. And that's what I wanted in the crowd. I wanted confident women in the crowd who just sit there and look immaculate.
100%. 100%. Baddie alert.
Yes.
You know, and I've had this question posed to me. I'm like, you could, I guess, slide into Jade's DMs because there are girls who are asking, how can I be a bad? She's like, no,
we need a tryout or something. I really want to do a behind the scenes of just like a calling cast type thing.
Great.
Or just, I would love to do that because everybody has all these opinions of what a baddie is. You know, if a woman came up in here and just knew herself and was, hey, I know myself, I'm this and a third, I will probably stand up and applaud her. You know, confidence just oozes from some people, and that's what we want. That's exactly what we want.
And you stated that in your Players Tribune article recently. So profound. You know, a woman that knows her worth is a dangerous thing.
Yes.
And I truly also believe that. A lot of people, when they see a confident woman, they kind of wilt her away.
And it's a male dominant sport. You know, we need confident women who know how to rise and who know themselves and don't take shit from anybody.
100%. Speaking of other confident women, you know, now is the time in this interview I have to ask about Thunder Rosa. That interview is over. We have.
I'm catching a headache.
We have Jade's response. That's all I needed. I assume. Well, not really, because we need more. We need more.
Yeah, we need more. We need more. We need more.
You know, Thunder Rosa. You know, also a mom, also a powerful woman such as yourself, also a fantastic wrestler such as yourself. I mean, there has been speculation and talk amongst fans that in the future, we don't know when, perhaps there could be another matchup. You guys have faced each other before, but perhaps another matchup. But this time, should the case be, it could be for your title, could be for her title as AEW Women's World Champion, or both. What are your thoughts on this?
I think Thunder Rosa is a hard-working woman. I think she's a great leader. However, leaders change all the time. I think that we should put both belts on the line. I would love that, actually. Being that she's been doing this for years, this is my first year and I'm only going up, I mean, she has something to look forward to. I'm about to whoop that ass. I would love that. I think that'll be a money-making match. Somebody else I want to face too, but we'll see when it comes.
No, who is it? Because we, at PWI, we do scoops. I think I gave you some leeway for other
I think a money-making match would be a match with Britt Baker.
Ooh. And you know what? That leads into my next question, because we talked last year about Britt.
Yes.
You know, the fans that were really eagle eye on both of your accounts, they saw something percolating. You both were having some sort of rapport.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you know, nothing really came out of it because here we are. But, you know, given the fact that there's now some history you have with the baddies, there could be the potential of, say, the baddies versus Britt, Jamie Hayter, and Rebel, or it could lead into between you and Britt. I mean, what are you thinking about that? Is this something that you're still like, I mean, you just stated you want that match to happen, but is it something that you think also Britt is, you know?
Of course, she's one of our best talkers.
Yeah.
She can talk about anybody on the mic. And I think that's why, because I can talk just as much shit as she can. So I think it'll be great. It'll be more so like, all right, guys, like, time is up. Somebody has to stop. But it's entertaining. She can cut some very entertaining promos, and I can too, and live. And I would love to explore more of that. I think we both will be excited about a match like that. I think that a huge storyline with Jamie Hayter and Rebel and Red Velvet and Kiera would be a great match. It'll be a great match. It'll be a money-making match for sure.
And you're all about the money.
All about the
green
money,
hair,
guys.
green nails, money.
Like money.
You know, once more going back to Thunder Rosa, you know, your backgrounds, they're similar, but they're different. But besides being moms, besides being hardworking, powerful women, you know, Thunder comes from that background where she's always talking about how hard it was for her to get to where she is. You know, she's toiled away for years and years to be the champion that she is now in AEW. And for others seeing it from the outside, you have had a relatively short amount of time, you know, getting to where you are. I mean, what are your thoughts on that as well? Because of course, from an outsider looking in, they would think, okay, Thunder Rosa has spent years and here comes Jade. She's only spent, you know, less than a year to get to where she is. That's not fair. I mean, what do you think when you hear people alluding to that, or quite honestly directly saying that?
So how I feel about that is, just because I didn't spend years in wrestling doesn't mean I'm not a hard worker. I played college basketball for 4 years. I played overseas for a year. I literally have been playing basketball and sports since I was 6 years old. I've literally been putting my body on the line, taking screens, taking hits, getting elbowed in the nose and the face for years. So just because it wasn't in this sport doesn't mean I'm not a hard worker, and I know what it takes and the sacrifices that you have to make. Did I just enter the sport? Yes, I was playing college basketball. I think college basketball, sports is something that every child should engage in while they're young. If I had the chance, would I have chosen wrestling at an earlier age? Most likely I would. I'm great. I got a great education behind it, because now if anything happens, I could always go back to my education and do something else. So I'm really proud about that. But I work hard. I literally have 2 practices every time I get in there. I literally do my homework. I want this. I am hungry. So that means nothing because I'm putting the time and I'm putting in the effort. And I respect people. Regardless of how people feel about me, I respect the grind. And that's why I can sit up here and say I think Thunder Rosa is a hard worker. I think she's a phenomenal leader. She's a very well-rounded woman. So I know I bring that same energy to this company. I would have never entered. When I entered this company, I feel like a lot of things changed, and people can feel like a lot of people can feel different about that. But one thing for sure is this company definitely changed. People started lifting more weights. People started running more. People started wearing different outfits. You know, people started having a different aura about themselves because they knew something was coming, and that's me. And I'm only going to get better.
100%. And that's a powerful thing, to be able to have that effect on people, to kind of lead them indirectly to work harder.
Yes.
You know, and that's an awesome thing because as a whole, it just makes everyone better, makes the team better.
That's what I'm here for. I'm here. In my first promo, I said I'm here to elevate the division. I never once said I'm here to do this and make people. What's the point of being a queen of a crappy division? You know? You need to elevate the division. I want to be great, but I'm pulling people along with me to be great as well. There are people that are pulling the strings to make me great. And I want to be the person to help the next generation. Or another girl coming in who is just an athlete that has never wrestled a day in her life. I want her to feel comfortable and to feel confident and to know that she can do it as well. Because it's always like an athlete versus wrestler type of situation, and it shouldn't be anything like that. If you want to work for something, work for something. If a person's slacking, okay, that's different. Like if they don't really want it, you'll see it. There's a reason why people in this company respect me is because I work hard and I want it.
Yeah. You know, I have to go on a little tangent before we wrap things up. I could talk to you all day, I feel, Jade. Like, this has been absolutely fantastic. I know your schedule is jam-packed. We're here at the Fan Fest, so we got autographs and pictures. But one thing, tangentially, I want to ask, because I found this so endearing, you know. I remember on Twitter you were asking about horses for your daughter.
Yes.
And then Mickie James came through and she was like, call me.
Super nice. I love Mickie James. Oh my gosh.
She's amazing.
Yes.
She's amazing. How did that transpire? Was she able to help you in terms of finding a horse?
Yes, she did. I got a lot of advice. Ruby gave me some advice as well. A lot of people, I didn't know so many people are intrigued and love horses like this. What I did though, so my daughter, she's a part of a club now, and she's also an assistant. So she's like cleaning up behind horses and like grooming them and stuff. And that's the hard part that she's trying to get right now. She's like, I just want to ride a horse. I'm like, no, you need to carry the responsibility. She's 5 now. So I'm like, hey, it's time to like earn what you have. If you want a horse, then I need to see that you're working for it. We need to do this. I'm not just going to give you a horse just because. Like, I need you to take care of your horse. I need you to love your horse. Like, I need you to be there for it. I don't want this to just be some toy. And that's one of the things a lot of people, including Mickie James, gave me advice on. Like, make sure this is really what she wants and this is not something that is like temporary, because a lot of people do that. So we're sticking to it. Let's see how she does in a year. She'll see. We'll see if she gets this horse.
I can't wait. Once we see the picture of her on the horse, I think that'll just seal the deal, and with a big smile on her face. Because what girl doesn't love, having her own pony?
I know. I think everybody wants a pony. I want a pony too. So that's why I'm like, hey, we're gonna put in the responsibility to see if you really want this pony.
Exactly. And at that age, that's a huge responsibility. So you're absolutely right. My last question for you, Jade Cargill, our esteemed TBS champion. I'm looking at the title. It's so gorgeous. If you guys could see it in person, it's fantastic. In 5 years' time, where do you see yourself? Whether it's in All Elite Wrestling, in Hollywood, perhaps designing your own fashion line. What do you have for the vision of Jade going into 5 years? I'm trying to think what year that would be. I'm not going to do the math. We're not here to do math.
So I like to just take one day at a time. And the reason why I say that is because I would have never thought I would be in the position I was in right now a year ago. Never would have thought that. So I do want to be in movies. I do want to be a crossover. I want to be a role model for my daughter. I want to lose a catchphrase. And I want to be, if not already, the women's champion. I'm here to help out the next generation. That's what I want to do, but I want to just take it one day at a time. I don't want to put too much dip on my chip, and I know, right? I like that. I don't want to put too much dip on my chip and put too much on my shoulders, because as we all know, wrestling always changes, and I never want to prepare myself for something and just be disappointed. I would rather take it for what it is and keep it moving.
I love it. I can't argue with that response because that is coming from a woman that knows herself, is confident, knows her self-worth, and wants you all to get to know yourselves better and know your self-worth and go for your dreams. Thank you so much, Jade. This was awesome meeting you here in Vegas. The weather is hot. It's hotter in here.
Oh my gosh, guys.
I'm next to a baddie, you know.
That makes it hotter.
And a fellow island girl, you know. I love my fellow islanders. So
island girl.
I'm here for that. So thank you all for watching this really awesome episode of Face Turn with Candace Cordelia. I'm your host, Candace Cordelia, here with Jade Cargill. We are at FanFest. If you are watching Double or Nothing, be sure to check out the times. Make sure you have your time schedules right. I'm here on the West Coast. If you're East Coast, you know, Central Time, whatever, make sure that you don't miss it. And stay tuned because we're going to have some more amazing special interviews here at FanFest for you all. I love you guys. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for what's coming next.
Anna who?
Anna who? Who's that?